Marcus Aurelius versus the Internet. How a dead Roman emperor would destroy any modern influencer. Ancient secrets. Why the Internet is eating you alive. The Imperial Secret. 99% miss. There's a Roman emperor who died 1,800 years ago who could absolutely destroy any modern influencer in seconds flat. Marcus Aurelius never saw a smartphone, but his mind operated like an anti-fragility algorithm that would make any average person invincible online. The secret? He understood something that 99% of people scrolling right now completely ignore. Picture this. You're suddenly thrown back in time as the absolute ruler of Rome. Legions at your command, power over life and death, control over an empire spanning 3 continents. Now flip it. Marcus Aurelius gets dropped into modern internet culture. Twitter storms, Instagram drama, TikTok cancellations, anonymous trolls, professional haters. Who survives better? The answer will blow your mind. The internet is literally the new Roman Colosseum, but with one brutal difference. In the original Colosseum, only trained gladiators fought. On the internet, every random person walks into the arena completely naked mentally, with zero strategy, zero armor, and they get absolutely slaughtered. You've seen how people behave online, right? They jump on social media like sheep walking into a slaughterhouse. They expose themselves, fight strangers, get triggered by comments from people they'll never meet, beg for validation from anonymous accounts. It's pathetic. And the worst part, they do this voluntarily, every single day. Addicts craving digital pain. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Dude was basically talking about the internet 1,800 years before it existed. The man was a digital prophet. The difference between a mental emperor and a digital slave is simple. The emperor controls his reaction. The slave gets controlled by external chaos. When someone roasts you on Instagram, do you feel rage? Congratulations, you're a slave. When fake news makes you anxious, you lost. When you're obsessively refreshing for likes, you became a digital beggar. Stoicism isn't about being cold or emotionless. It's about being a mental predator in a world full of emotional prey. While others fight against what they can't control, other people's opinions, algorithms, trending topics, you only fight for what you can control. Your mind, your reactions, your actions. Think about it. Marcus Aurelius governed 65 million people when the world population was 190 million. He literally controlled 1/3 of known humanity, but he never gave a damn about gossip, conspiracies, or what people said about him. Why? Because he cracked the code. Your mental fortress is impenetrable when you stop trying to control the uncontrollable. The internet turns you into an amateur gladiator if you don't have mental discipline. You enter the arena every day, fight ghosts, get hurt by words from people who don't even exist in your real life. It's like fighting the wind. You always lose, always get tired, never win. But there's a different way, an imperial way, a stoic method of dominating digital chaos without being dominated by it. It's about becoming the person others try to cancel, but who remains unshakable. The person others try to trigger, but who watches like a god observing mortals fighting. The average person treats their phone like a slot machine, constantly pulling for the dopamine hit of notifications, likes, comments. They've turned themselves into lab rats pressing buttons for random rewards. But the digital emperor? He treats his device like a precision tool, using it only when it serves his purpose, never becoming its servant. Here's what nobody tells you. Every single app on your phone was designed by teams of neuroscientists and behavioral psychologists specifically to hijack your brain. They studied how to make you addicted, how to keep you scrolling, how to turn your attention into their money. And it works on undisciplined minds. For the next 3 days, choose something that normally triggers you online. A political post that makes you angry, an opinion you violently disagree with, a personal attack. Now do this. Read it. Observe it, feel the irritation rising, and do absolutely nothing. Don't reply, don't react, don't defend yourself. Just observe your own mind trying to convince you to engage. Feel the brutal power of choosing not to participate in collective insanity. That's the taste of imperial power. If you're sick of being a digital slave and want to become a mental emperor, smash that like button to activate the Stoic algorithm. Comment Emperor to let me know you're ready to transcend the chaos. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now, because what's coming next will completely transform how you see power in the digital age. The mental weapon that makes you unstoppable online lethal discipline. There's one difference between regular people and digital predators that most never notice. Regular people consume everything on the internet. Digital predators only consume what feeds them. Marcus Aurelius had one brutal rule that, applied to modern internet, would turn you into an unstoppable force. Want to know what it is? The internet is an infinite ocean of distractions designed to drown you. News, videos, posts, stories, trends, memes, debates. It's a constant flood that devours your attention, your energy, your soul. The average person tries to swim in this ocean and inevitably drowns. The digital emperor doesn't swim in the ocean. He observes from a distance, chooses only the waves he'll surf, and ignores everything else. Marcus Aurelius ruled the largest empire in history, but his day started with a ritual. He wrote only for himself. His meditations weren't meant to be published. They were his way of organizing his mind before facing the chaos of absolute power. He knew that without mental discipline, even the most powerful man in the world would become a slave to his circumstances. In modern internet terms, your discipline is your only defense against the weaponization of your attention. Every app, every notification, every algorithm was designed by teams of scientists and psychologists to hack your brain. They studied how to addict you, how to keep you scrolling, how to turn your time into their money. And it works on undisciplined people. The law of digital discipline is brutal but effective. You only consume content that moves you toward your goals. Everything else is toxic waste that you automatically reject. It's not about willpower, it's about reprogramming your brain to be selective, like a predator choosing prey. Think of it this way. Marcus Aurelius received information from the entire empire every single day. Military reports, political issues, economic problems, Senate intrigues. But he didn't drown in the sea of information. He had a mental filter. Does this help me rule better? Does this make me wiser? Does this solve a real problem? If the answer was no, he ignored it. Apply this to your digital life. Does that Facebook political argument help you reach your goals? Does that influencer drama make you a better person? Does that TikTok trend add value to your existence? If not, why are you wasting your most precious mental energy on it? The difference between an amateur and a professional on the internet is that the amateur reacts to everything. The professional only responds to what matters. The amateur reads all the news and gets anxious. The professional only consumes information he can turn into action. The amateur argues with strangers about irrelevant topics. The professional uses his time to build something real. Here's the secret nobody tells you. Your attention is the most valuable resource you own. It's more valuable than money, because with focused attention you can make money, but with money you can't buy attention back. Every minute you waste on useless content is a minute you'll never get back. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." In the digital age, this means confine yourself only to content that serves your present and your future. Everything else is noise designed to weaken you, confuse you, keep you small. Digital discipline isn't about deprivation, it's about lethal selection. It's about becoming such a selective consumer of information that your mind functions like a sharp blade, cutting through the nonsense and focusing only on what truly matters. When you master this, you become dangerous to those who profit from your distraction. Most people are digital hoarders. They consume everything, save nothing useful, and wonder why their minds feel cluttered and anxious. The digital emperor is a minimalist assassin. He consumes precisely what he needs, when he needs it, for exactly the purpose he intended. Your phone should be a precision instrument, not a chaos generator. Every app should earn its place by serving your goals. Every notification should be intentional, not accidental. Every minute spent online should move you forward, not sideways into digital quicksand. For the next 3 days, before consuming any online content, ask one simple question. Does this make me stronger, smarter, or closer to my goals? If the answer is no, close it immediately. No exceptions. Watch how your mind will resist, will try to convince you that it's just for a minute. Ignore that voice. It's the whisper of the digital slave trying to keep you weak. Be ruthless with your attention. Treat it like the most precious treasure you own. If you feel like you've been wasting too much time on digital distractions and want to reclaim control of your mind, smash that like button to show you're ready for Imperial discipline. Comment discipline if you're going to implement the Emperor's filter. Share this with someone who needs to stop being a slave to digital chaos. And keep watching, because what comes next will teach you how to become completely immune to other people's opinions. How to become immune to haters and cancel culture. Total armor. Marcus Aurelius discovered a psychological secret that made him literally invincible. He understood that his reputation didn't belong to him. This discovery, applied to modern internet, transforms you into someone who cannot be canceled, hurt, or manipulated by other people's opinions. It's mental armor that few possess, but that you can develop. The average person lives and dies by other people's approval. They post a photo and obsessively check how many likes it got. They express an opinion and monitor every comment like their life depends on it. They build their identity based on what strangers on the internet think of them. It's pathetic, but it's the reality for 99% of people online. Marcus Aurelius was the most powerful man on earth, but he wrote, "How much trouble he avoids who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does." Think about that. The Emperor of Rome, who could execute anyone with a gesture, didn't care about gossip or other people's opinions. He understood something revolutionary. Your peace of mind is more valuable than any crowd's approval. On the internet, this lesson becomes even more powerful. You're seeking approval from people you don't even know, who might be lying about who they are, who could be bots, who might be having the worst day of their lives and taking it out on you. You're allowing your self-esteem to be controlled by digital ghosts. The law of strategic indifference isn't about being cold or inhuman. It's about understanding a brutal truth. What people think about you says more about them than about you. When someone criticizes you online, they're revealing their own values, insecurities, frustrations. You're just serving as a blank screen where they project their own demons. Imagine if Marcus Aurelius had a Twitter account. He'd receive daily criticism about his decisions, memes mocking him, threads analyzing his every move. But he'd apply the same philosophy he used with Roman senators who conspired against him: observe with scientific interest, extract any useful information, and discard the rest as irrelevant noise. Here's the mind trick that will change your life. When someone attacks you online, they're not attacking you, they're attacking the image they have of you in their head, which is based on limited information and filtered through their own experiences and prejudices. You can't control that image, so why care about it? Mental armor works like this. You accept that there will always be people who don't like you, regardless of what you do. If you're too kind, they'll call you fake. If you're too direct, they'll call you aggressive. If you're successful, they'll call you lucky. If you fail, they'll call you a loser. It's an impossible game to win. So the only smart move is not to play. Marcus Aurelius had real enemies, people who literally wanted to kill him to take power. Even so, he slept peacefully every night. Why? Because he focused only on what he could control: his actions, his decisions, his virtue. Everything else was other people's responsibility, not his. On the internet, this translates to brutal freedom. You can express your honest opinions, create authentic content, make decisions based on your values, without being hijacked by fear of other people's judgment. When you stop trying to please everyone, you can finally be yourself. And ironically, this makes you more attractive, not less. Strategic indifference isn't about being insensitive, it's about being selective. You care deeply about the opinions of people who actually know you, who have demonstrated wisdom in their lives, whose perspective is grounded in real experience. But you develop total immunity to the opinions of strangers who judge based on digital fragments. The internet amplifies insecurity because it's designed to make you compare your behind the scenes with everyone else's highlight reel. But when you understand that most online personas are carefully crafted illusions, you stop taking any of it personally. It's all performance, all theater, all smoke and mirrors. Your worth isn't determined by metrics. Your value isn't measured in likes, shares, or comments. Your character isn't defined by what anonymous accounts say about you. These are just numbers and words on a screen, created by people you'll never meet, living lives you know nothing about. For the next 3 days, whenever you post something online, observe your mind. It will want to check likes, comments, reactions. Resist. Post and leave the platform. Don't monitor. Don't respond immediately. Let the content exist without your anxious supervision. Feel the initial discomfort, it's your ego detoxing from external validation. Then feel the freedom, it's your true self breaking free from the prison of other people's approval. This exercise will show you how much you were being controlled by people you don't even know. If you're tired of being held hostage by other people's opinions and want to develop this mental armor, smash that like to show you understand the power of a strategic indifference. Comment armor if you're ready to become immune to the judgment of the masses. Save this video to revisit whenever you feel your self-esteem being affected by strangers. And keep going, because now we're going to unite all these mental weapons into a complete system of digital domination. Complete system from digital slave to mind emperor ancient power. There's a moment in every person's life when they stop being played by the game and become the one who creates the rules. Marcus Aurelius had that moment when he became emperor at 40. You can have yours today, right now, by applying the complete system that will transform you from a victim of digital chaos into an emperor of your own online destiny. You made it this far because some part of you is tired of being ordinary, tired of reacting, being controlled, living defensively in the digital world. You want something more. You want real power. Not power over others, that's an illusion. You want power over yourself, which is the only power that truly exists, and the only one nobody can take from you. Marcus Aurelius combined 3 philosophies into one devastating mental weapon: Stoic control over his reactions, military discipline in his actions, and philosophical indifference to other people's opinions. When these 3 forces combine, you become a force of nature, not someone who tries to impress someone who simply is. In the digital world, this means you're no longer predictable. People can't trigger you because you don't react to what they expect. They can't distract you because you only consume what you consciously choose. They can't hurt you because your self-esteem doesn't depend on their validation. You become a ghost present, but untouchable. The difference between amateurs and masters is that amateurs have separate strategies for separate problems. Masters have systems that solve multiple problems simultaneously. The imperial system does exactly that. With one simple set of principles, you solve the problem of digital anxiety, time wasting, emotional dependency, chronic distraction, and psychological vulnerability. Think of it this way. Marcus Aurelius didn't wake up every day deciding how to react to each new situation. He had internalized principles that worked automatically. When senators conspired, he applied indifference. When barbarians attacked, he applied discipline. When pressure increased, he applied control. It was automatic, instinctive, lethal. Your imperial system works the same way. When someone provokes you online, you automatically apply indifference not as weakness, but as strength. When the algorithm tries to distract you, you automatically apply discipline not as deprivation, but as selection. When pressure increases, you automatically apply control not as rigidity, but as conscious flexibility. The result is that you become antifragile, not just resistant to digital chaos, but strengthened by it. Every attempt to provoke you makes you more indifferent. Every attempt to distract you makes you more disciplined. Every attempt to pressure you makes you more controlled. You feed on what should destroy you. Marcus Aurelius ruled during one of the most turbulent periods in Roman history: wars, plagues, betrayals, economic crises. But he didn't just survive, he flourished. His meditations, written during military campaigns, are considered one of the most profound philosophical works ever created. He turned pressure into diamonds, chaos into wisdom, adversity into strength. You can do the same in the digital world. Every hater can teach you about indifference. Every rejected distraction can strengthen your discipline. Every moment of pressure can deepen your self-control. You don't avoid chaos, you dance with it, knowing it can't touch you at your core, Most people approach the internet like it's happening to them. The digital emperor approaches it like he's happening to it. He's not a passenger in his own digital experience, he's the driver, the navigator, and the destination. Every day, before opening any app or digital platform, dedicate 5 minutes to your emperor's ritual. Minutes 1-2. Mental control. Remind yourself that you control your reactions, not external events. Visualize yourself remaining calm in the face of any digital provocation. Minute 3. Digital discipline. Define exactly what type of content you'll consume today and why. Everything outside this list is noise you automatically reject. Minute 4. Strategic indifference. Remind yourself that strangers' opinions are irrelevant to your peace of mind and goals. You only care about feedback from people you actually know and respect. Minute 5. Imperial affirmation. Declare mentally, today I am the emperor of my digital experience. I choose my battles, consume consciously, and remain unshakable. Chaos may roar around me, but within my mind, I reign supreme. This ritual isn't superstition, it's mental programming. You're literally rewiring your brain to operate like an emperor instead of a digital slave. When you master this system, you join an elite group of people who understand true power in the digital age. You're no longer reactive, scattered, or emotionally hijacked by algorithms and strangers. You become someone who uses technology instead of being used by it. If you made it this far, you're no longer the same person who started watching this video. You now possess a mental system that 99% of people don't know about, and that can completely transform your relationship with the digital world. Smash that like if you're going to implement the imperial system in your life. Comment, I am the emperor, to affirm your commitment to this transformation. Share this video with someone who's still a slave to digital chaos. You might be saving that person's sanity. And subscribe, because you're now part of a mental elite that understands true power in the digital age. The empire of your mind starts now.